Hi friends, Starry Hilder in Idaho. And look at chickens. I love the chickens. This is a great little, I'm at the end of the county road, and this is a great little place to grab the camera and talk about what is going to be one of the most important things that you need now when it comes to preparation. Is it chickens? Is it living off the grid and getting those solar panels up and getting a generator? Is it, should you be on grid? Should you be off grid? We've got the power lines are right here, and you can see that this place is set up for electricity. But you can also see that they have their greenhouse, they have their garden, they have their chickens. Everything's fenced in. These people are ready to go. Get it. Self-sustainability, homesteading, country living, yet they're on the grid. So what is the answer? For now, what do you need? Because a lot of people they get fixated about this off-grid living. Oh, so-and-so is living off the grid, and wow, they're so prepared because they're off the grid. I'm going to tell you a truth right now about being prepared. You can have all the preps in the world, all the solar panels, all the batteries. You can have a off-grid refrigerator. You can do your laundry by hand, but the bottom line is right now, the most important thing that you need for country living and sustainable living is a skill set. Your skills are being sharpened, your skills being added to, the development of those skills. This is really a point that needs to be driven home, because all of this took skill. Putting up a fence, irrigation, raising chickens, right? Building a house. Taking care of fruit trees. Those are all skill sets. And what I see time and time again is people flooding out of the city. And they have PhDs, they have bachelor's degrees, they've got tools in their toolbox, right? But they don't have the right tools because they've never lived a sustainable life. They're used to living this life in the city, in the suburbs, where you just flip the switch and you have electricity. Or you can go to the store in 5 minutes and get what you want, right? You can have packages delivered at your door, and you don't have to plow your driveway to get out. You don't have to drive down a country road and worry about winter driving because you're in the city, right? I mean, even learning how to drive in this stuff is a big deal. So today, I want to impress upon those of you who are looking for what is the most important thing that you need to know now. Should I move off grid? Should on grid? What? There's so much stuff out there, almost too much. I'm going to give you some good old-fashioned Starry Hilder advice. Start learning. Start learning. Build up your skill set. I mean, I've got over 200 videos. And if you watch my videos, what did I teach? Yeah, we lived off the grid. But everything that I taught could be applied to on-grid or off-grid living. It's all about sustainable living. How to gather wood. What type of hardwood burns the longest? How to dry your wood. How to stack your wood. How to store your wood. Where to put the wood stove in your house. I mean, that's just wood alone. Canning, pressure canning, water bath canning, how to store your food. Can you double stack? Can you reuse your lids? Can you can butter? Can you can cheese? What about dry canning? Then we have the medicinal stuff. Should I learn about herbs? How to make tinctures? How to make salves? How to make lotions? How to make your own laundry detergent? How to save money? What items to stock up on? What lasts so long? And then the skills. Knowing how to cut wood. Knowing how to build. Knowing how to preserve food. Knowing how to sew. Knowing how to make a tincture. You see what I'm saying? These are skills that you will need to live on or off grid, but to live sustainably. To have that homesteading, country living mentality that is going to prepare you to survive for what's ahead. Because we know what's ahead. I don't care if you're a believer or not a believer, wherever you're at right now. The bottom line is we understand that the world as we know it is never going to look the same. We know that our food has been adulterated. We know that, the resources are drying up. We're relying on the stores to feed us. We're relying on the restaurants to feed us. We're relying on the doctors to take care of us and the hospitals to take care of us. You know what? It's all failing. The whole system is failing, and pretty soon the whole system is going to shut down. So where are you going to be? Are you going to be stocked up with all that stuff and then have no skills to replace it? I mean, you can have all the food in the world, but sooner or later that food's going to run out. So do you know how to grow your own food? Do you know how to do microgreens and sprouts? Do you know how to preserve your own seeds so you don't run out of seeds? Because sooner or later all the seeds are going to run out too. Do you see what I'm saying? It's really imperative that you guys get this. And as I'm walking on the so cute, the doggies. As I'm walking on this country road in my backyard in Idaho, where this all started for me, I've learned a lot. And you know what? When you walk the walk, you can actually talk the talk. So, advantage of what I preach is that I have come full circle. There's a lot of channels. There's a lot of channels out there with a lot of different advice, but they're living in it right now. They're preaching, you got to live off grid. This is how you live off grid. But what is off grid if you aren't prepared with any type of skill set? You can have the solar panels, like I said, and you can have all the batteries in the world, but if you don't know how to pressure can, if you don't know how to, if something breaks, how to fix it. And that's the problem with people flooding out of the city. They don't have the skills. So the one thing I like about this area, and even when we were in Tennessee, we're doing a lot of country living seminars, a lot of classes. And that's the kind of where I have a burden to teach. Krista's too. We're doing our Pandemic Busters class. So we're teaching people about their immune system, because now is the time. If you're not healthy, how the preps in the world isn't going to do you any good. But part of that is also teaching how to, make applesauce, teaching how to make a salve, a wound salve, teaching what plants you can eat, teaching solar setup, batteries. There's so much. So be looking and be watching in wherever you live. One of the best resources are the Seventh-day Adventists really are reaching out, because this is who they are. They knew about country living a long time ago from Ellen White. And she, when her inspired writings, talked about leaving the city. The Seventh-day Adventist people were warned about it, which kills me, because some of them are still asleep. It's like any church, there's always people asleep. But what I'm trying to tell you is these people have a long history of knowing how to do it. And, it's important to go to a source that's been doing it. And a source also that relies and recognizes the sovereignty of God and the place of God in all of this. Because I want to tell you something. There's a lot of preppers out there. There's a lot of emergency, get prepared. And, they know these people, a lot of them, they're good resources, but it's lacking. And many of them is that they don't know God. So if I would give any advice, the advice that I would give right now, that if you are going to seek out to learn some of these things, it is really imperative that you align yourself, if you're a believer, with other believers. I mean, truly, other believers. And the Seventh-day Adventist Church has been offering a lot of country living classes, and it's open to all people. If any church there was that doesn't discriminate, I really have found it in the Adventist faith. Now, it's not perfect by any means, and I call myself really just a believer. I don't affiliate with churches and with faiths, but I'd say the closest I am in my walk is with the Adventist, because they are faith-based, because they have the power of prophecy and they recognize what's going on, and they've been preaching it a long time. So it's a great resource. If you're looking for that resource, start looking at those churches and those classes. You're going to learn a lot, because these people have a wealth of information and they are gathering the flock right now. And their most important goal is to teach, teach, teach. So people are prepared, both in their homesteads and spiritually. All right, take it or leave it. I don't care, because that's just some Starry Hilder advice from the heart to help you. All right, God bless you guys.